stop him.
Stop him? I just let him go until he knocks the building down. Then I give him a burrito.
When polling fans about their favorite Andromeda alien, Andreas took the lead, so let's explore the episode centered around him. I love that we're still exploring the effects of Ben's fame, and the cup signing sequence gives us another look into the new opportunities that Ben receives with global notoriety. Although, it does make you wonder how average civilians even know about Alien X and where they got a picture of him, as allegedly, Ben has not even used Alien X since his first debut. Argent taking advantage of Andreas' obliviousness is an interesting route to go about in this episode, but it also ensures we're not always getting the same thing every time with these Andromeda 5 episodes. There's also a lot of great jokes in this episode too.
There's a door right there!
The fact that Argent can just walk right up to a knight's castle like it's an ordinary home, and they'll even answer to a ringing doorbell, plays into the downfall of the knight's threatening nature even more. But at this point, you might as well play up how ridiculous the knights are. Yet, all of a sudden, they're a threat again because an emo bowl cut strolls up with a sword, and now they have the power to contain and execute Andreas even though he's been shown to shatter their castles? Yeah, kinda aggravatingly inconsistent. This episode really doesn't have much to say about itself. It's full of gag after gag, and while a fair amount of them land, it still feels like the premise of this episode is stretched very thin. But the best part of this episode is definitely Andreas himself.
You're nice. Andreas, sorry for shaking you.
Like Galapagos, he has a very kind-hearted personality, and while in Escape from Agrigor showed his aggressive and wrathful side, we get to see his more innocent side here, and see lots of his actions are actually driven by fear. And the moment where he's willing to sacrifice himself for his friends is one of the most memorable scenes of the Andromeda 5, and solidified him as a fan favorite. It was very heartbreaking to see him broken and bleeding, only to be found and recaptured by Greg.
It hurts. I'll make you all better.
The main trio, Argent, and the Knights are all in line with their regular writing, although a bit more comedic than usual. But I gotta say, when Argent calls Kevin out for foolishly trusting him just like Andreas does, that was pretty brutal.
Just because somebody's dumb enough to trust you, do you mean Andreas or you?
It's always good to see Jimmy Jones again too. This episode doesn't have a lot going on for it visually. Some action scenes are alright, but the animation isn't nearly as sharp as the last two episodes. Don't get me wrong, it looks fine, but it doesn't have anything to make it stand out, and there's not really that much going on either. Similar to Pandora's episode, while this one does help build on the Andromeda 5 storyline, it isn't as mandatory as the others. Like I said, this episode's best strength is its plethora of jokes, like Jimmy being friends with one of the knights through an MMO. But compared to the other 3 Andromeda episodes we've seen so far, this is the weakest of them. It's not down there with some of the worst episodes of Ben 10, but after UA was building on a hot streak, this one's a bit disappointing.
He saved us.
He saved everyone.